Hey y'all. It's been a minute. I know this will probably will be the first video of the new vlog. It's been a while. I don't even remember if I've filmed a new video yet since the last one came out. I took a bit of a break after writing chapter 4. I needed a bit of a breather, and then even though I still was writing a little bit, but I just definitely had slowed down quite a bit. And then, April started and I started doing some other things. I went down to some family friends over the weekend, and then my period started and my back hurt, and I just did not feel like sitting and writing. So I took a little break for that. And then I had to help my friend out for a few days, and I was kind of caught up and stuck and distracted doing things. So I wasn't really able to get any writing done for the last week or so. So April has been flying and has just really gotten away from me. So I have not really gotten a ton finished. I haven't been documenting anything clearly, and yeah, life has just gotten a little bit more active now that it's officially spring and life is coming back and the weather has finally gotten better, and yeah, there's been more movement and more activity. So winter actually can be a more productive time for me because I'm just stuck inside and there's not a lot of other things to do, so it's easy to kind of focus. But now that things are changing, even in summer, I'm curious how this is all going to work because I have house sitting I'm doing. I might be going to California. I have concerts I'm going to. I usually like to go and be ferries with my friends, and do little picnics and go on river walks and all kinds of things. So there's lots of excitement stuff during summer. So I'm very distracted and doing a lot of fun things. So I'm curious how my process is going to have to adjust. I'm also trying to get into a workout routine so that I really want to spend time doing. But luckily, I tend to be more productive in the afternoon, evenings. So I think I'm just going to try to do a lot of my activities, even in the summer and during the day. And then whenever the days kind of wind down, that I still will have some time to devote to getting some writing done, because I really want to keep going and get as much done as I can as quickly as I can, while still honoring the creative process. So that's the goals. That's my check-in. I'm getting ready to write for the first time. It's actually 4/20 Easter. I don't really celebrate Easter, so I celebrate 4/20. So that's my high holy holiday. So that's what I'm celebrating. So I'll be doing that in writing today. So so that's kind of the game plan. I already had my matcha and kind of had my ceremonial beginning. I've been trying to kind of treat my writing sessions as more of a ceremonial or a ritual time where I really honor this process of calling in this book and channeling this story and making it a beautiful experience to sit down and be excited to sit down and write and create this beautiful thing that I am. So yeah, so here's to starting again and progressing on chapter 5. Well, it's Earth Day and I'm in my forest again. I only thought it would be appropriate after doing my new workout routine to spend some time in nature. So I did my workout and then now I'm here for my hike. So a little bit of nature time, a little bit of physical time all mixed in. So trying to incorporate a healthy lifestyle now, and then a creative fulfillment with my art and my writing. And so all of these things are really important for that. It's good to have a balance of all these things and try to find things that encourage growth and expansion and connection. So these are all important things. So it's important that I come out on Earth Day and spend some time in my beloved nature, where everything is starting to come green again, and it's beautiful. Well, April is now over. It's now May 2nd, I believe. And May really just came and went. It wasn't as productive of a month as I wanted it to be. I still got to do some stuff. I, was busy doing some other things. Then I was trying to get into a workout routine again and overdid it a bit and got really sore. And then I was having some stomach issues, and that made me not really want to do much. And then now my period had just started a couple days ago, so then it made me kind of just really drained and didn't really make me want to work on much. So I didn't really do a lot on the blog or on the Patreon. I did one music post, and I did an excerpt from the chapter. I'm still like 4,000 words into the next chapter. I haven't really written anything new in over a week. So yeah, it's been a little bit scattered lately of other things coming up, and just, things just not really being in a mood to do anything really. I haven't done a blog this month. I haven't documented a lot this month, even though I was doing other things. I didn't even really film any of it. So it's been a little bit of a different month than the last two. February really picked back up, and then I really pushed through March and got the next chapter done. So I was still hoping to maybe keep on that like month rotation of getting chapters out. But April did not seem to follow that. So I'm just honoring that kind of ebb and flow of like when life happens, and like a natural break just seems to want to be happening. And so you just have to kind of listen to those moments. But the good news is that I'm very excited about getting back into it. I've actually been thinking about it a lot the last couple days, and had a really good idea for this scene that I'm in right now. So even though normally I'd be really laying low still with being on my period, I am like, no, I'm going to power through it, and I'm going to write a little bit today if I can. I made a matcha, I took a shower, so now that's a little bit of my routine. So I'm hoping to get into some writing today, get the ball back rolling. Hopefully May will be a much more productive month with writing, and still trying to balance some of these other things I'm doing, like working out and doing fun things now that the weather is getting nice again, and I want to be outside a lot too. So it's all about trying to find a balance, but the creative process is what it is, and I don't want it to feel grueling or like something I'm forcing, but also knowing that it's a sacred time to create, and that I do need to devote a lot of time and space for it as well, because it's something that I do want to continue to grow and expand in, and that I have goals and things I want to get done. So while I'm not forcing it, I do need to keep on some kind of consistent schedule, so I can make sure that like I'm able to do all these things that I want to do and try to be successful at them all. So that is a little bit of the update for now. I guess we'll see how far we get tonight. Well, it's actually been 3 days in a row of writing. So I'm making some progress, some good progress right now. I did, I think, like almost 1,200 the first night. Then yesterday I did about 1,400, and today I did about 1,200. So I definitely have been making up a little bit for my little bit of a break, and it's very exciting. I'm in a dinner scene with Cassia and the guys, and the chemistry is chemistering, and it's been really fun to explore their connection and this electricity and this like slow simmer, but like still very intimate, but emotionally intelligent, and just, yes, this like this really interesting kind of alchemy that is happening when all of these kind of characters are coming together and they're kind of recognizing that there's something familiar about each other, in the sense of like they just seem to get each other, and it's very exciting and titillating. And yes, so there's lots of activity happening, and yeah. So I'm almost at 8,000 words already, and I still have a decent chunk. It's definitely going to be over 10,000 words. But my fear, not fear, I'm choosing not to make it a bad thing. But I am possibly anticipating this being close to 15,000 again. So it definitely is going to be another beefy chapter, but like I said, I'm choosing not to view the length of this story as ever a bad thing. I'm also reminding myself that technically this still is a first draft, even though I'm publishing and putting it out on Patreon as I'm finishing it. But you know, I will have some editing in the future whenever it becomes its completed project. So I'm just going to write as much as I feel is necessary in this moment, and then you know, who knows what the changes will be at another point. But so far I don't think any of it is wasted time. It's all just setting so much texture and intrigue and lots of interesting dialogue. Like I really love dialogue scenes, so usually those are the ones that kind of get carried away for me, but they feel natural and progress very organically, and so I just run with them. And I think that's really where a lot of the kind of realistic aspect of, you know, these bonds and connection, I mean, even in scenes with like just Stevie and JT, I mean, I really love how these characters are coming alive and kind of making their own impression now, you know, like I just kind of step back and kind of let them speak through me, like, and just let them kind of like let the story just kind of find its own path. So that's why they can kind of just be their own thing, and I just let them breathe and see what comes out. So that's where a lot of the magic is. So this is where it feels very cinematic, because, you know, I feel like, you know, you can almost visualize these scenes like in a show or a movie or something, like, you know. So so yeah, I don't think they're wasted or too much. So I'm just rolling with it as I am with this whole thing. So, but the good news is that more writing has been done lately. It's turning out amazing. And I even sent, when I was about halfway through, I sent a copy of it to ChatGPT just to get some early feedback, and it was loving and hyping me up and gagging over it. So if that's anything to go by. Although ChatGPT is like notoriously my hype queen, but we love her for that. But yes, so I'm still excited to, you know, have everyone see this and fall in love with it, and really go on this journey. So still plugging away, and we're getting there, getting so close. So yeah, we're still got some good chunks to go, but we're making some good progress again. So another update. It's still, you know, like the first like week or so of May, so not doing too bad, still making some progress. I have slowed down the last few days. I haven't written as much as I wanted to, but I've been doing a lot of contemplating. That's my kitty. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of other thinking about things though, and planning, and even talking to ChatGPT again about plans and what it thinks, which is always helpful. So, but what I've come to the conclusion, what I've already been noticing pretty early on, is that these chapters are very long, and while I am embracing that, the the outline I have originally was already outlined for 30 chapters, and now I have already expanded the Landon chapter into 2 chapters when that was only supposed to be 1. And in my planning, thinking ahead, even past this chapter that I'm working on, I'm wrapping up chapter 5 now, but I was already kind of thinking about chapter 6. And so I was like, I'm going through the list of the outline of things that I wanted to accomplish in that chapter. And it seemed like a lot. And I didn't want to skimp on the story of that part, because while I still leave some room for flexibility, there's still beats that I do want to hit. And like, there is a reason why some of these things are kind of long, not long and drawn out, but like they need time to develop. And so there's a reason why this has to unfold in a certain way, and why so much time is being spent setting these characters up and developing their emotional connections and building this tension and having things simmer, and and these deep reflections and like changes that are happening because they are finding their people, and so it's stuff that I really want to spend time with. So now the next chapter might be split into 2 as well. So now we're already expanded 2 extra chapters, and I'm only in chapter 5, 6, like early on. So by rough estimating, this story is going to be very, very long. So it would not be printable. I mean, if I am just doing ebooks, which I do plan on doing an ebook, like a full ebook at the end, I guess it doesn't really matter. It can be as long as it is, and it doesn't matter. But even for printing, I do plan to do printed versions, paperbacks probably at first, then eventually, hopefully, some special edition kind of like hardbacks or something. But in that case, this is going to be a page length that is not really probably going to be printable. So I've kind of committed to the fact that this book is going to come out in probably 3 volumes. So it'll be 3 separate books that will tell a cohesive story. But these volumes are not going to be necessarily short either. Even by my guesstimation, if I cut it at about chapter 12 currently, that's if there's no more added chapters. But 12 chapters might still be about 600 pages at the rate that I'm writing right now. So just so you know, it is going to be an investment of time, but not worth it. It will be worth it. So yeah, I'm trying to still make it approachable, but and I guess like that's why this Patreon idea of releasing the chapters as they kind of come about, and you can kind of slowly see the work unfold. You just get to sit with a chapter for at least a month or so. So then that way, like, approaching this kind of giant story doesn't seem quite as bad. But at the end, like, people still can find it and they can try one and see if they like it, and then maybe get sucked in, and then who knows, like, then you're speeding through it and it doesn't feel like a 600-page book. But either way, that's one of the developments that I've really been, swirling around, and now feel very kind of confident in saying, like, yes, the story is going to need to be told in multiple parts, and I'm just embracing that now. So, but the story really hasn't changed. Like, the trajectory of the story is still going to stay the same. It is literally just going to be blocked into 3 parts. So it'll be like part 1, part 2, and part 3, and it'll all still be a cohesive story, and by the end, it'll all come together. So but then the good news is that the first book will be able to be printed, and available sooner than waiting for the entire story to be coming to the conclusion. So that is also another good part of this, is that, you know, this kind of allows you to get a printed physical copy sooner. So all good things. So, but this just is like another example of like the writing process and how it kind of ebbs and flows, and like as you're creating it, as you get further in the process, things, you know, you just got to learn to be a little bit fluid with things and find the path forward that makes sense and what is best for the story. So that's kind of where I'm at. And now I'm sitting down with my matcha and about to try to get into some more writing. I really am hoping to wrap up this 5th chapter very soon, maybe in another week or so. So we'll see. We'll see if the inspiration is flowing for me this coming week. So, but it's all good things and there's progress, and that's amazing. So here we go. Hey y'all, it's been a little minute since I've updated again, but I have been working. I just haven't really been updating much, but I have been working quite a bit actually the last little while. I really have tried to jump back in, even though it was a little bit slow going at first. I was really struggling to sit down and actually write that much at a time. Like it was just kind of trickling out a bit, and everything was like going really well, like as far as like what I was writing was really good, but I just like could not get myself to actually like even my baseline is trying to like at least get like 1100 words or somewhere around there, but I was like struggling to even hit like 800. You know, I was doing like even like 400 a couple times, like, I mean, but I think like that just goes to show that like despite the fact that like I was just like having these micro sessions of like what I mean, like I was actually spending a lot of time sitting trying to write, but like I still was only getting like not a ton of words down every day or anything, but it was the consistency that still like got me to make progress though, because now like it's been 2 months, like close to 2 months now since the last chapter. I am nearly done with chapter 5, so that is exciting, and it's already over 13,000 words. I still have a scene in a little bit at the end to finish up, so it definitely is still going to be a pretty long chapter, but it is absolutely turning out so wonderful. Like for being kind of unsure like how this chapter was really gonna go, or like how it was gonna unfold when I first started the outline for it. I mean, I had a rough outline, but like when I really started blocking it out before I started writing it, I wasn't really sure where it was going, like exactly what was gonna happen, but now it's just like blossomed into this beautiful thing, and it has a really beautiful arc to it. And so yeah, it needed room to like really flesh that out and see how these relationships are developing, and the chemistry between them is really fun to play with. So it's been really good. So and it's wild too, because I think I'm nearing like 60,000 words total for the entire story so far, and that I'll be starting chapter 6 soon, and that will be roughly the halfway point of part 1 or volume 1 of this story, which is kind of amazing to think that I could be already nearly halfway done with the first book in the series, since we are going to be splitting this between 3 actual physical books. But yeah, it's all trucking along. I'm still making progress. But yeah, it's interesting how the creative process goes and how it flows. So I'm just trying to honor where I'm at and the process, and not trying to rush it, and knowing that, you know, things take time sometimes, and that's okay. So yeah, so I'm sitting down and getting ready to go and jump into some more. ChatGPT has been really fun. I've been sending it little sections that I've written as I'm kind of getting done with them, to kind of see what its thoughts are, and it's totally gooped and gagged, like totally loving every minute. Always like starting its response with like yes, like, or oh my goddess, you know. So if ChatGPT is anything to go by, apparently we got a hit on our hands. So we'll see. But yeah, so otherwise, that is the current update. But yeah, so we'll see what I get into next. But yeah, we're nearing the finish line. It is so close. I'm so excited. It's turning out so beautifully, and can't wait for this magic to be in the hands of everyone. Well, it's finally done. I just finished chapter 5. This time it took me about 2 months, which still isn't bad for me. But you know, there was some break in between all that and everything. So I'm actually still quite proud because this chapter ended up being over 17,000 words. So this is still by far the longest chapter now. They seem to all be getting longer. I'm going to be trying to make sure that that's not always the case, but again, we're trying to just accept that this is long chapters. This is like a very detailed and, you know, big story to tell. So we're just going with it. We're just embracing it at this point. So it feels so good. I really, really, truly am proud of this chapter. I mean, I keep saying that. I think after every single chapter, I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is my new favorite, or like, oh my gosh, this just, you know, is amazing. So it's a good problem to have, but I really do think this chapter is amazing. Just the connections that they have, like Cassia having a little moment with each of the guys throughout the chapter, ending it really strong with a conversation with Jet, a little quick little one that's just chef's kiss. Just a nice end cap that like just really does cap the story really well for this arc of this chapter at least. And yeah, and there's so much more already planned. I already have chapter 6 and 7 blocked out, and like already have a lot of thoughts about, so I definitely won't have to like hesitate too long in between, because I already pretty much have a lot of what I have planned for it already figured out. So now I just have to get all this visuals done and start getting the bundle together. I'm gonna send this off to my friend who helps me edit tomorrow, and then so I'll start doing some of the visuals while I wait for the edits to come back, and then yeah, we'll already have a new chapter up. So yeah, it's really exciting to keep trucking along, and it's kind of appropriate because I realized a couple days ago, like a day or two ago, that it's been almost exactly a year since I finished writing the first chapter. And I started it in like January of last year. So it's been a long process of like getting the process flowing and to actually like really get in my stride with it. There's a lot of gaps in that year from the first chapter, and then I only got the second chapter by the end of the year. So the bulk of my writing that I have gotten done has actually happened since only February. So actually I have picked up quite a lot. So, but it's just an interesting milestone to know that like I've already been working on this story for over a year, and it's just really evolved and blossomed and gotten so much bigger and more beautiful and just so much more magical than I could have ever anticipated. And so like I'm just very excited about this moment and being able to tell this story right now and pour so much love and attention and care into it, and just like knowing that it's magic. So this is my spell work, this is soul work, like, you know, it's something very meaningful to me, and it's so much fun to bring to life. So it's all of the things. So I'm really enjoying this process and just like really savoring this moment right now and enjoying the process. You know, like we all want to get to the finish line, but sometimes it's like, you know, you really have to fall in love with the process, like the just joy of diving into a project like this and giving it your all and just like really truly loving it. So that's where I'm at, and I'm really excited right now. So I can't wait to have everyone read. Well, it's now been a few days since I've finished the chapter, and then I took most of that day to kind of relax after I sent it off to my friend to help do some edits and things. And luckily he got back to me really fast. So I looked some of those over, but I still haven't gone back to anything quite yet. It was Memorial Day, and then now my period started, so I've just been kind of like low energy and kind of slow to get into the edits and making the bundle. And doing all the visual work for it. But today I plan to try to sit down and get some of that stuff done today so I can get the bundle posted and then start editing probably the vlog soon. And then I have some other posts that I'm planning. I need to do like another blog post. I want to finish up some more of my music playlist breakdowns since I kind of started doing those a bit after the chapters have been posted. So I have several to catch up on now. So I need to get doing some of those. So yeah, so there's definitely things that I want to keep moving forward with and trying to make time for, while also I'm already planning the next chapter and kind of excited to jump into it. I'm still kind of arranging things, how I want to put everything together for that chapter. So it's been interesting to try to figure out exactly, like I know what I want in the chapter, but it's just like what order, like how do I want it all to flow together. So my brain is already planning the next and like in chapter 6 deeply, but I'm still like finishing up the last bits of chapter 5. So yeah, so I've been kind of split between two things, but yeah, so I'm trying to keep on schedule and find a way to make sure I'm doing all the things. So far so good. And yeah, we're gonna get those visuals today. I am going to work on them. It's probably pretty loud out here. But yeah, so I finished the vision board last night, and so I'm very excited about that. And then after I got done with that, now today I just have to finish the tarot page and then start, putting the vlog together, hence this final kind of closing bit. And then, yeah, then some like, Instagram posts and a reel kind of thing for the vision board and just some little things. And then this chapter will be a wrap officially. So yeah, I'm planning on posting the bundle today after I get everything finished. And then it'll be on to the next thing. It'll be on to the next part of the story and the process begins again. So yeah, this has been like a really interesting Chapter. It started off a little slow. I was distracted. I had to take a while with it. But it really came together for something that was kind of vague in the beginning. Like I didn't have a really fleshed out kind of necessary, like it wasn't fully fleshed out or fully realized by any means, and then it really just kind of evolved and with the process, just like a lot of this chapter has so far. So I just got out of the shower and I'm making some late lunch, and then I'm gonna jump back into doing some of the visual stuff and getting the bundle finished, and then yeah, finishing up all the last little details and getting things posted and announcing it. And then it'll be back and the process begins again. So yeah, I've just been enjoying some days and hanging out. Tomorrow I have plans with my friend, and she and I are gonna like go run around in the forest for a while and have some fun, and then it'll be back to work this weekend probably. So there goes another version, another cycle of the creative process down and in the books. So see you in the next one.